Hey,
Hello! How are you, Wesley?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little sleepy because it's getting late on my side of the country and it's pitch black outside.
Yes, I feel you.
Because it's snowing. Uh, it was snowing outside my window last time I checked. The lights were on, so I could pretty much see the snowflakes.
My goodness. Where are you calling from?
I live in Connecticut.
Okay, cool. That's where I went to college. I'm very familiar with the snowy, cold evenings in winter.
Well, where did you go to college?
I went to Yale in New Haven.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
I know that Zach is also a Connecticut native.
Yes, he is indeed.
Native. It's too bad he and Mae aren't here to join us tonight, but here we are.
Well, Zach has kind of slowly been getting back into the fandom. He, went after Avatar, he kind of stopped doing stuff, and he's been doing a lot of photography and kind of like cinematography stuff and dealing with kind of being behind the camera. But he started kind of re-entering because we found him somewhere, and he was like, "Oh, this is so cool! You guys are still like hanging out." So the Avatar might return eventually to more things like this, where he's like talking to fans. We'll see. Fingers crossed. May is just busy being on TV, so
There was a cast reunion last week where he attended, and when you learned that he was going to be there, were you like, "Where have you been, Twinkle Toes?"
Yes, literally. Well, I felt that way for a while because I found he came on. Dante does like a Friday afternoon stream all last year, like streaming the show and like raising money for COVID, all that stuff. So he came on one of the episodes finally, and I was like, "Where you been, Twinkle Toes?" Like, we've been waiting for you. And he was just like, "Yeah, like I've just been busy. Like I wasn't like, it's been a while since I've like watched it, and then I didn't even know that like people were like still talking about it." And we're like, come join us. People have been rewatching this thing like crazy. You need to say hi to all your fans. So yeah, he's coming back in slowly but surely.
That'd be terrific. Maybe he might come back here. Maybe he might eventually join you here.
Yes, that would be fantastic. We'll see. I don't want to like force him because he is definitely a bit more reserved. Like I don't even think he has public social media. Like he's definitely kind of doing his own thing, and I'm not trying to mess with that. But if he opens up, I'm just gonna pull him in and be like, "Come hang out with us."
Right. And meanwhile, Mae's off being a huge Hollywood movie star, so she's too big for us.
I know. And her time off, she doesn't want to be hopping on and chatting. She's like, "I just want to relax in between all of my stuff that I've got going on," which I totally understand. Taking time off is important between all of the crazy shooting that I'm sure she is doing. So
I can imagine that it gets pretty exhausting being on camera. I mean, I myself get stage fright when I'm in front of an audience, or if I know I'm being recorded.
Yeah, it gets really freaky. I also, weirdly enough, I really love performing, but I get super freaked out by it. So it's this very strange combination of like me having a mini panic attack. But as soon as I'm actually doing the performing, whether it's singing a song or dancing in a musical or something like that, once I'm actually doing it, then it all kind of goes away. But that leading up to it, oh man, it's a little, There's a little fight that I have with myself every time.
I know that. I know just what you mean. I've been going to a lot of conventions like GalaxyCon and another website lately, and every time I'm in the waiting room, I get that same reaction.
Yep. It's like just waiting for the anticipation of just waiting for it to go. Yeah. I feel you. Well, do you have any particular questions or comments about the show or about Toph or me as a voice actress or anything like that?
Oh, I do have this Funko Pop that I've been keeping.
Hey, there she is.
I've also met Jack before you, so I have. with me
Oh,
too.
so cute. They're together, Taka.
I met both. Like I said, I think I said I met him before you did, and needless to say, how the way he went into detail of what it was like behind the scenes and recording these voices for his characters, for Sokka in particular, and just me telling him that my Jello story was pretty much informative and hysterical.
Yeah, he's great. I'm a big fan of Jack. He, in my opinion, I think he's probably the most like his character in real life. I feel like truly he's just like an embodiment of Sokka in the real world. It's kind of scary watching him, and even in person, like his mannerisms, you kind of see him kind of, look around like Sokka kind of does too. It's really funny.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yes.
Like Zach, I also took a couple classes in photography when I went to university, and I really enjoyed them.
That's awesome. Well, do you still do photography or cinematography now, or do you do something else?
I take photographs from my cell phone from time to time and upload them to a website called Unsplash. It's where stock photography is found. I don't get paid for it, but it does allow me to get recognized.
That's so cool. Yeah, I know about Splash. I've heard it before. That's awesome.
And while I was in university, I've had a couple art teachers who were exactly like Toph. Toph, strict, and took their curriculum seriously, especially my museums and exhibitions professor. She's my favorite.
Well, I'm simultaneously thrilled and sorry that you had some Toph-like teachers. I'm sure that it was helpful, to get you in line and, make you learn things properly and everything like that. But, I'm sure that they were a little tough. So, certain moments you were like, oh man, can I catch a break?
Yeah, but when I look back on them now that I've graduated and have my bachelor's degree in hand, I'm grateful for the tough love they gave me.
Yeah, exactly. You're grateful for tough love later on. Well, is there a favorite Toph quote or a phrase or something that I can, voice for you kind of in tough performance mode?
Yeah, let's break some rules.
Hey, Wesley. Yeah, let's break some rules.
I've noticed that you've been a little outspoken on your Instagram page as well, especially in your stories when you remind people to go vote and change the course of our country's history for the better. I often think of Toph, and that allows me to realize that that you're staying true to her character when you talk about these sensitive topics.
Well, her in Legend of Korra too kind of inspired that even more when that finally was released last year, and I started watching that again. And she's just always, whether people like it or not, she's always there to try to do the right thing. And I think that's a great mantra to live by, because she doesn't really take sides. She doesn't necessarily always stick to just one thing. It's always like, okay, what is the right thing to do in this scenario, and what's the right thing to do in this situation? And she's not perfect, she's human too, but she's always trying to do right by everybody in the immediate situation. And I think that all of us can learn from that, and hopefully lots of people in charge of our country can learn from that. They probably don't even know what Avatar is. They should watch Avatar. That's what all of them should do. Everybody involved in politics should watch Avatar.
Well, a lot of younger people lately are watching that show, which is an amazing thing, and I can tell that if some fans of Avatar do get into politics later on, then it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little tempted. I'll see what happens. Sometimes, entertainers going into politics happens a lot, but I'm definitely tempted, because there have been so many moments, along with so many other people, I'm sure, this last year, where I'm like, how I should just be in charge. What's going on? Why don't I just be in charge, and then we can figure this all out? yeah, we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm 26. There's lots of time left. We'll see.
So am I. So am I. I got plenty of life left in my body, and I'm going to make the most of it.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining the panel today, and then for chatting with me, and talking about Zach and Sokka and Mae and everybody. I always call Jack Sokka. I feel like I call everybody else by their first name, and I always call Jack Sokka. I think it just happened. But yes, thank you for chatting, and I hope that you have a good rest of your 2021, and you're having a happy new year, and you're staying safe, Twinkle Toes.
You're very welcome. Do you have Michaela or Jessie?
I don't really care, but Michaela or Jessie works. I answer to both because that was my name when I was recording, so I'm used to responding to Jessie, but I also, Michaela's my birth name, so I'm used to that one too.
Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind next time we meet.
Awesome.
I found our conversation to be very informative, so thank you so much for that and for having me.
Good. I'm so glad. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for being so awesome.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm so glad I can join.
Of course. Have a good night.
You too.